It's Friday morning. It's not crunchy time.
It's Friday morning Rants and Bants with Rudi Lickwood and the crew, Aston Matapha Jones,
Julie Juice, Coach Astrid, and Lescha Marshall-Witter.
Early morning conversation with a special guest each week.
Join us.
Bring your tea, your coffee,
and let us fill you up
at 8:15 a.m. to 9:15 a.m.
Friday mornings.
See you there.
Live with me, Rudi Lickwood, and the Rants and the Bants crew.
Whoa, and good morning. How are we doing, people? My name is Rudi Lickwood, and I'm here with you this morning, bright and early. Thank you very much for joining me. Much appreciated. I don't do this alone, though. That's the thing. I don't do this alone. I got help at hand because you know me. You don't want to be just listening to my gums. So let's welcome on Coach Astrid this morning. How are we doing, Coach?
Morning. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. You know what? I should call you Australia because you're like sunshine. You are like sunshine without a shadow of a doubt. Oh my God. It's all that swimming. That's what it is. Shall I bring on Lescha? How about Miss Lescha Marshall-Witter?
Yeah, go on.
Greetings. How you all doing, everybody?
Greetings, Lescha. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm not a floating head this week.
No. We've got floating shoulders, though. Different. floating shoulders. It's weird. And of course, our co-host this morning, Mr. Aston Matapha Jones. Good morning, Aston.
Whoa!
Someone's been to the gym. God,
You know.
Someone's giving it all the guns. Giving it all the guns.
I'm working on my abs. I'm up to 10 Guinness a day now.
10?
Wow.
Oh my God.
No, I'm joking.
You're not abs. It's a keg or a barrel.
I'm going the other way. So everything is good. Everything's going good, right?
Oh God.
Well, they say that muscle weighs more than fat. They say muscle weighs more than fat.
It possibly.
No, it does. Yeah. It does. Muscle definitely weighs more than fat. I mean, that if there's one thing about Afro-Caribbeans is that we're very lean in that. Or they used to say dense. We're very dense people. We carry very little fat.
That's why we can't swim.
That's what we don't see.
You said you can't swim. I can swim.
No, I'm only joking. I can swim.
You float. Astrid, you float. You don't swim. You float.
I swim.
You float, darling.
I swim.
Tell us the secret, because there's a secret behind the way you breathe, the way you capture the air in your lungs. Yeah.
Yep.
There is a secret.
There is a secret in that you keep your head above the water. I'm sorry. But it is about floating. And what you'll find is if you practice, when you fill your lungs with air, you actually float to the top of the water. And when you take the oxygen out of your lungs, you breathe out, you start to sink. So the idea is that you need to keep oxygen in your lungs as you are swimming.
That would explain why I'm so good at swimming under the water.
Exactly.
I'm like you. I am brilliant under the water. Me, if I hold my breath, I could do I'll go clear, man. But because I find that when I swim, to be honest, I think it's more of a fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a fight just to stay up. That is my. I think I'm traumatized. Actually, I think I'm.
Oh dear.
But the thing is,
It depends on what stroke you're doing as well, because if you're doing the front crawl, you keep your head in the water and you do 3 strokes. You turn to the side, you take your breath, and then you carry on breathing it in. So it's every 3 strokes that you turn and take a breath. And with the breaststroke is this one.
Yeah.
So you do the arms and the legs, and that's what helps you move through the water.
That's the froggy one, isn't it?
You look like a frog.
That's the froggy one. Yeah, I can't do that. My bottom half of my body does not float when I do that.
In the water.
It literally just, and then I have to kick more to keep it afloat. And then by the time I do that a few times, I'm tired. I'm like, just back to front.
Yeah.
I can do backstroke. I can do somersaults in the water. I can do front crawl. I can swim under the water. Ask me to life save somebody or help somebody else. I'd be like, yeah, all right.
you be looking at them. You be looking at them in the water, going, swim. No, swim, man, swim.
I would be the one who would get in and save them, because I've done my many moons ago. I did my what do they call it? It was life-saving thing. They call it something different now, but I did the old one back in the day. So I know how to, no matter what size the person is, I can still bring them to the side and So I swim sideways, doing like the sideways thing, but I've got them under the chin, hold them under the chin, and swim with them
to keep their head out of the water.
Yeah,
but the thing is, you've got to be careful, because they can actually drown you, can't they?
They can. That's why you keep them at arm's length.
And not only that, if they're panicking, so the first thing to ask them to do is to literally, like, not play dead, but like stop fighting, like what you would do. You don't fight the water. Let me take control as the rescuer and follow instructions. So you have to be one of those people that's like, if you don't listen to what I'm saying,
I'm going to drown you.
That happened to that young man.
I think that's only fair to say. I'm going to drown you because you're now drown me. Because
you know. Yeah, but in saying that, let's just think back a few weeks to the young man who jumped in the Thames to attempt and he never made it out himself. So that is just a prime example as to, you don't know about the current when you're jumping into certain waters. You don't know about the depths when you're jumping in. You don't know what's in there, because if you get tangled and the other person is free, they can float away, whereas you now have to sort of, rescue yourself. So, it's very,
and it's always exactly the same as what you're saying, Lescha. It's very much a case of, is it safe for you to go in and save them? Because if it means you're putting your life at risk to go in and save somebody, it sounds really harsh, but you leave them.
Yeah. But that is the same in any risk assessment situation. Even working in the care industry, you would expect that if somebody goes to fall over, your natural reaction is to try to stop them from falling.
Exactly.
Whereas I'm actually trained to do an assisted fall, which sounds really weird. Kind of help them down, which is easier than trying to stop them from falling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very hard to overcome your natural human instincts to want to help another human being. But it's not until you actually hurt yourself, that's when you kind of go, I really need to reconsider how to help others. And I'm a trained first aider as well, so I'm obligated to stop and help people in the street. So it's actually quite difficult to sort of let people around you know that you're able to handle that situation. And I just need you all to just give me a moment to just do a risk assessment.
What you've got to. Yeah, exactly. I mean, as an SIA operative, one of the things.
What is SIA? SIA is
Security Industry Authority. So when you see people with the badges who work in the clubs and stuff like that, that's what it is. So now the training is that you have to do first aid first before you can apply to do the badge. So if you don't do your first aid, you don't get your certificate and what have you, you can't apply to actually get an SIA badge.
That's
it's
good.
Part of the requirements now. So yeah.
I think that's essential. That's essential. That is.
But before, you used to have somebody dedicated to just doing the first aid side of things. So you would call them on the radio to come and deal with the situation. Now, every single person has to have the first aid. So it wasn't as though it was being ignored before. It wasn't, because you'd have a dedicated person to do it. But now it's more a case of everybody has to be able to give first aid, or at least basic first aid, before you need to call the ambulance and all of that kind of thing. So
you've just given me a question for Wednesday night show. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
For Wednesday night show. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I was a bit lost for a second there. I was like,
I'm plugging your show. Come on.
It seems, I feel as though I've got to catch up.
What hat is he wearing today?
No, that's the thing, is that's what happens when you wear a lot of different hats. You got to kind of like exactly work out where you are and what it is exactly you're doing. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much, Aston, for helping me out, because I had a technical malfunction that I've never ever had before. I don't know if it's happened to anybody, whereby your hard drive decides that it's going to do a walk.
Yep.
And it totally broke down, which meant that I've all of my data and everything and work on my computer it just doesn't work. It just absolutely just crashed. So there's no way that it would open. And Aston's allowed me to use his laptop.
Spare one.
His spare laptop. Yeah. And hence we're able to stream the show today. So thank you very much, Aston.
No problem, brother.
Thanks, man.
Teamwork.
Yeah, man. Now, sometimes I think you've got to show that sign of appreciation, really. You know,
Sure.
And it kind of goes to show that it takes a team, and it's a team effort, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big team effort. Well, I mentioned earlier on that Sasha Johnson was recently shot, and she's critically ill at the moment. And what I did was I went on the old interweb, so to speak, and a statement was made, which I thought I'd play.
It's a shocking incident that has left a young woman with very serious injuries. Our thoughts are with the family of Sasha Johnson, who are being supported by specially trained officers. A dedicated team of officers and detectives are looking to find out who is responsible for this incident. They're making good progress, but we need the public to help us. From our inquiry so far, we've established that Sasha had been at a party at a house on Consort Road in Peckham early on Sunday morning. At around 3 a.m, a group of young black men dressed in dark clothing entered the garden of the property and discharged a firearm. They'd left the scene before officers arrived. We're aware of Sasha's involvement in the Black Lives Matter movement in the UK and understand the concern that this will cause some communities. However, I wish to stress that at this time there is nothing to suggest that Sasha was a victim of a targeted attack. We're also not aware of any reports of threats made against her prior to this incident. I want to take this opportunity to reassure you that we're doing everything we possibly can to identify those responsible and to bring them to justice. Tackling violent crime is one of the Met's main priorities, and we want to keep people in London safe. Members of the public have got an important role to play. So we need the public to come forward with any information they have, even if it's really small. If you have any information about the events of Sunday morning, we need you to contact police immediately. Please contact us by calling 101. You can also report information anonymously to Crime Stoppers by calling 0800 555 111. Thank you. No indication at all. We have all.
So that's what they've done, and what I actually found quite interesting, which was something that Julie Juice mentioned, was that they found an Afro-Caribbean officer to make the statement. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I've got so many.
Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn, man.
I'm just going to use one word, unfortunately. Distraction.
A distraction, yeah?
Maybe 2 words, and also destruction.
Wow.
Because I know there was a massive hate campaign, especially on Twitter, when it came to, there wasn't a lot of empathy with her and what she was going through. I mean, there were things that was going up on YouTube in Australia that was even worse. I'm not even gonna put up some of the things that was said. You know, I do believe that there were 5. The police actually have 5 gentlemen at the moment that they're holding under suspicion.
Right.
5 guys.
Reading through the newspaper articles, obviously they arrested them outside of the incident, and it's not like they have anything conclusive evidence that these 5 are associated or that they are related to the actual incident itself, right? And then in there it's like they've selected 5 arrests, right, to appease the public that something is happening. You know, I would envisage that those 5 will be released at some stage because they've been arrested on the fact of that that they were involved in like a drug or having possession of drugs and other non-related things, right? Now, what comes to my mind is that, you know, when the police want to have somebody to use as a scapegoat, they will coerce these young people or these people into admitting or entrapping them into making a statement around the incident, you know. And that is what is really in my mind at this particular time. We have very proficient legal staff that will possibly help them, but if it goes to the courts and everything else, or if they're charged or anything like that. But it's a big distraction. It's a big distraction. Reading one of the articles there as well, as I did, that the people who came in there and into the party, they were balaclavaed up, right? And it's in the garden area where this happened, and obviously to identify them all as being black, right? I would have found that would be very difficult if you've got this melee of people who's there in dark clothing, unless you can see some kind of skin or something like that to identify them as that, right? Then you know what, I really believe that the information is very sketchy in that way there, what the police is reporting.
Yeah, I think it all becomes questionable until I guess more information does come out, because the thing with Sasha is that she was very forthright in her thoughts and what she had to say, which no doubt was one of the reasons why well, we can't say one of the reasons why she was shot, because I don't know why she was shot. It's just such a massive coincidence. But at the same time, when we look at what she's got to say, not surprising.
Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. TTIP. We're tired of being let down by Labour, Conservative, and Lib Dem and all of them. We want our own political party, one that reflects the multicultural nation that we have become.
Our message is listen to us, hear our words. We want sustainable and tangible change. We don't just want tokenistic promises. We don't want it to come from a hegemonic point slant. We want it to be for the people. So like how you see us out here with our white allies, it's because we're all suffering from the same hands of the same system, a capitalist system that refuses to take and acknowledge a people.
And I always find it amazing that anybody who actually takes on the governmental system seems to disappear. They're quickly removed.
That is a regular thing that I've observed over the years. Look at the Stephen Lawrence, what happened to what's his name again now? Dwayne Brooks, right? Constantly, persistently, and even up to today, still hounded by the authorities, right? So, you know, it's is one of those things that is systematic of the British system over here, and I will only talk about the British system because that's what's affecting us right here, right now.
Well, the thing is it just a British thing? Is it just, or is it global? Because I mean,
no, it is global, but I just just to keep it concentrated on what we're talking about on this at this particular moment, I just say the British system.
Okay, right? Because I think I would very much like to do that, but I just kind of feel that it's a global thing. And when I start hearing things like 5% of the population controls the entire global planet, I kind of say to myself, is there any truth to that? You know, I mean, only recently in Zimbabwe, in is it? Wait, hold on. Let me find this. Yes. Oh, you're on it.
I know where you're going.
You are so on it.
She's not just a pretty
on it. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
In Tanzania, we've got the vice president. Yeah. Miss Hassan. I can't pronounce her first and second name. If someone could do that for me. But she was recently sworn in as the country's president following the sudden death of John Magufuli.
Magufuli, yeah.
Yeah. And Magufuli, as we know, was contesting what was going on with the jab.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. And all of a sudden, it's like he got removed.
Yeah.
And that was on the global platform. So to make it just national, I kind of think that we are not really looking at the full picture.
That, yeah.
You know, and that's one of the reasons why I love history, because history kind of like tells me where I stand from the beginning of time to today to know where I am and what my position really is on this planet, so to speak. So to have a voice like Sasha's, you know, out there, this is not surprising.
Yeah.
No. It's not surprising in the sense of that they're gonna look to defend what they regard as their society requirements, right? Look. Let's get this right. I mean, this is how I see our history or our impact on the UK history, right? We were brought here, or our parents were invited here, right, to get them over a period to rebuild their society, right? They've done that to the extent of that they don't require our services anymore, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, they made it known, right, that we don't want you really here, but because you're contributing by paying taxes and working and everything else, we allow you to stay. But don't get too bright. Don't get too bright. You understand? Because let's look at our personal achievements. Right? We've surpassed their educational system to the extent of that is no longer fit for purpose for us. Right? We are thinking and moving into a generational evolvement now that is way beyond what this system actually provides for us, right? And if everybody was able to live up to their full potential, right, as an individual, we would, as a society, we would be so much more further than what we actually are now. Right? Destruction and war is not our ethos and who we are as in general towards us as a global people, right? Because I know that if you see a man, black, white, Chinese, Indian, whoever, right, and that man there comes to you and say, let's sit down and talk, let's try and build something, right? The majority of us would say, yes, let's try and do something together. But government forces or outside forces are saying, don't trust them, right? Don't work. We're the ones who negotiate, who you talk to,
how
you interact with each other. We look after your money. We'll tell you what and when.
Yep. Do you want to check the private chat for a minute, Lescha? I understand exactly what you just now said to us, Aston, and it's very much so. I think this country would be so much further ahead if they did just allow everybody to grow.
Yeah.
In truth,
I mean, just look at the way how young children interact with each other, right? Until the adult goes, well, boy, they're different. That child ain't got even thinking like that at all.
No,
never.
No.
You understand? You let a child grow in its own organic way, right? They would love everybody. Until the adults come in with their, boy, they're different, you know. Oh, this, that. Oh, don't trust them. This and that, you know. And that's when the prejudice come into it. You understand? So, you know.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to know what thoughts people have in the comments. Be interested to know what your thoughts are about some of the things that have been just now said. You know, because we do think it's quite a serious thing when you think about it. You know, that we do have a voice out there that's trying to represent us, and then all of a sudden it's taken away.
I mean, like, okay, then let's take it to the extreme now. You've got Mr. National Front racist, you know, get them out and everything else, right? Imagine now if Africans were exactly the same, right? Saying, get them out, we don't need them or anything like that. We're not sharing anything with them, right? What's ours is ours. That's it, right? All of a sudden, their system would just totally collapse, right? It would just be anarchy worldwide.
Yeah, but you notice the way in which they punish the various countries that even begin to think that way. I mean,
exactly.
You can see what happened in Zimbabwe. You can see what's going on in
sanctions
in Haiti. Since Napoleon was defeated, the only reason why Haiti is in the condition that it is because they want to teach us a lesson.
Yeah, sanctions again. You understand, right? If there was a true worldwide organization, I know they had the nation, the United Nations, right? But unfortunately, they've lost their emphasis of being a United Nations or voice of the United Nations. All they're doing is just quailing or putting out fires here and there at the moment, right? In my opinion, they haven't had any impactful resolutions to say, no, let's unify the actual world as it states, United Nations. You know?
I mean, Liz is saying it's the ignorant adults that is still instill it. Let children not see race as a color, only a human race.
Yeah, thank you.
I would love it. I would love it to be a colorless society. I really would love to live in a colorless society, but that's not the reality, though, is it? I mean, it would be. I mean, I remember. I think it was Margaret. Who is it who coined that phrase? Either Margaret Thatcher or the grey man himself, about living in a colorless society. But you know, it genuinely isn't. I mean, the moment they found Africa became the breadbasket, and we found ourselves at the bottom of the pile as a race of people. That is, we know that it was the Germans who came up with this whole race thing because it never existed before. I mean, there were. You know, there were two emperors who were emperors in Rome during the Roman Empire. So we can go that far back to say, you know, racism didn't exist at one point. But it is here. But it is fair to say, not that it's all gloom and doom, so to speak. But it is fair to say that, you know, changes are constantly being seen. throughout the society in which we live in, and that includes the UK itself.
KKK.
In here, for example, what's great is just unbelievable when you consider that the conversation was about rivers of blood back in the day. Yeah. But now in Wolverhampton, things have changed.
Yeah.
And in Liverpool, might I just add, sorry, the mayor of Liverpool is a person of colour, rather than using certain words, and she's female. So there are waves being made, albeit on small beaches, if you want to look at it like that. But water and waves moves mountains.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Hey,
that's deep.
Yeah,
I feel like we're swimming again.
Yeah.
I've had my herbal tea this morning. Do you know what I mean? Like the herbal tea.
I feel like we're swimming again. Oh my God.
And we're not swimming under the water, we're swimming above the water.
That's true. That is
like
so true.
got a replacement.
That is so true.
I think there's a sort of a ripple that's happening. And as we know what happens if you throw a pebble into still water, you see the ripple effect. And I think that there's enough of us now beating the same drum. We've read the same books. We're on the same chapters. The vision is the same. And we're all on that same mission now to kind of do something different. It's like there's a lot has been tried before and we've kind of tested it, reviewed it, it's failed. We've tried it again, it's tested it, reviewed it, it's failed. And I think that 2020 into 2021 has given people an opportunity to think. It's given, a brain dump has been done. Like all that other stuff has been like just put aside, and it's given us all an opportunity to actually think a little bit differently about how we're going to be unified. How can we unify? What things are already in place do we need to champion? Do we need to support? Do we need to encourage? Because, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're really not. It's just that we want all of our four wheels to be on our vehicle to move us forward together.
Yeah, because I think...
And as Julie said, that's the relevance of ADPAC and actually us coming together and doing it in a way that's going to have the biggest impact for us.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get forgotten about. We're not going to get ignored as well.
And we're not just making up the numbers, because sometimes I've felt in my past, I've sort of, got certain jobs or been put in certain positions to make up that 0.1%. Now that company gets a little bit of extra funding. Now that company gets a little bit of extra kudos for doing, you've got somebody in that position, kind of thing. When you're on the phone speaking to them and they don't see you for 2 years and then they come to the office for the general end of year party and they go, oh, well, so who's Lisa? Because they've never got my name right. Who's Lisa? Then I'm like, no, Lescha here. Oh!
Hey, Lescha.
I used to get the same thing because when you think of Astrid, right? What do you think of? You think of someone who's tall, who's got long legs, blue eyes, blonde hair, all of that.
I think of a cartoon character.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, no, Astrid. No, that's Astrid, isn't it?
Yes.
I get that so often. I do.
I think of Asterix. I think of Asterix. I think of Popeye. I think of eating spinach.
Popeye.
I really do.
That's just you.
No, it is. I ain't gonna lie. I do. I think of Vikings.
I used to have fun when I introduced myself and I'd go and meet somebody and it's like, oh, you're Astrid. Yep, that's me. That's me.
That
and
is
it's
you.
like you can see the shock on the face, and it's like I love it. I absolutely love it. I just think it's so much fun. So much fun. My mum had the right idea naming me Astrid. Trust me.
I think it's a great name. I think what I actually like. I actually like saying Coach Astrid. I actually like saying Coach Astrid. It really does. It really does work well for me. Yeah. I believe our guest is knocking at the door. and she's here with us, bright-eyed from looking at her. So please allow me to welcome to the stage Dee Bailey.
Yay!
Miss Bailey.
Greetings. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello,
okay?
Good morning. Good morning, Dee. I just want to ask you a quick favor. Do you mind if you spin the camera around? I hope it automatically rotates for you.
No. Is that better?
No.
No.
Do you know how to put it on rotation by any chance?
2 secs.
Oh, we'll just take. There you go. That's lovely.
There you go. Yay!
That's lovely. So joining us this morning. Good. Joining us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Miss Dee Bailey, the founder of Simply Dee's Events CIC.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm not Miss. Unless you know something I don't know.
Oh, you're not married?
I'm missing. I am.
Mrs.
I'm missing. You said
Mrs.
missing.
You're married. You're married.
Well, currently at this point in time, it might be different in another 5 minutes, but currently married.
Oh my God, poor thing. Poor thing, poor man.
I love
man.
Love it.
Oh God.
Love it.
So it's fantastic having you here with us this morning. It'll be we're interested in knowing what it is that you get up to, because I think you're based in Luton.
Yes, I am. Yes, a whole heap of things.
Well, let's go one at a time. Let's simply go one at a time. I mean, let's start off with the hub that you've created.
Wow. Okay. So the hub that is currently in Luton Indoor Market. Okay, and it's called a community hub and a collaborative store. So basically, I know so many people very passionate about the community. So it was a case of like, how can I help support individuals? And currently at the moment now, I think there's about 13 different vendors who have their products or services actually in that unit. Leash is one of those. She's got all her resin items in there. There's just loads of stuff. Small businesses we're talking about. We're not talking about big people. We're talking about small businesses that you wouldn't be able to necessarily do that on your own, but collaboratively, we're making strides. So
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I really don't mean to cut you. It's just that
that's what I normally do. I don't mind.
It's something that you brought up that was very important, because a lot of our East Africans, we're talking about the Somalians on the east side of Africa. What they do is, like, when they come into a borough or an area, they actually purchase property, commercial property, and then they break it up into smaller sections. And they have all of these smaller businesses all operating, turning it into like a little plaza.
Yeah. In shops type thing. Yeah, it's loads of them in Northwest. It's brilliant. That's why when I heard there was an opportunity to get involved in Luton, especially after living there and not feeling part of the community when I lived there, for me this was ideal. It was just a throw straight in introduction, and get to know people, and as well as promote what it is that we all do. So it's a great space. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, me too. And so it's twofold. So you've got the collaborative store. As I said, you've got vendors in there. So on a monthly basis, you just pay a fee. You're in there, you can come out or you can stay in. And that's how that side of things work. Also, organisations and charities, individuals that are doing positive things. We've got information stands, thanks Lise. Information stands where we want that information. What are you doing? What are you actually doing? Bring that information along. And what we do, individuals, organisations are going to be coming along and speaking about what they do.
Okay.
So it could be mental health, it could be homeless, it could be dementia, it could be anything. Once it's positive, I'm very passionate about the young people, giving them a platform and supporting as best because all what I do, as in the Simply D's, I might be the founder, but you cannot do these things on your own. You cannot do them on your own.
So where in Luton is it? Exactly where in Luton is it?
It's in the indoor market. So you've got the mall. It used to be called the Arndale Centre. So it's called Luton Mall. And inside is the indoor market. And it's starting to thrive. And yeah, it's fabulous.
I must admit, I've driven past it. I've never gone in there. I've seen the Arndale Centre before. The Arndale Centre.
Why?
Huh? Why?
Why have you just driven past? Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're talking about many years ago, you know. I can't remember the only time I go to Luton now is catch a plane. The only time, well, Marsh Farm, you know what I mean? You can't blame me for that one.
Don't you dare take that back. No, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. I know it's your show. Leash knows.
Wait, hold on. Don't come on here and start bullying me. Please do not come in here and start bullying me, young lady. You're a guest, okay? You're a guest. All right? You're a guest.
As a guest.
You're a guest. It's okay, but you don't need to. You really don't. You really don't.
You can't diss Marsh Farm. That's where I live. You can't diss it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I should. You see? That's why I drive past Marsh Farm. That's why I drive past it. But, yeah, like I said, I've seen the Arndale Centre because my cousin lives in Luton. But I've never actually, that's what I said, I've never actually been in it. Never actually been in it. Like most of the times I've gone to Luton is for a dance or someone's birthday or something like that.
Carnival, even. Carnival would be this weekend.
Carnival, yeah.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those. Sorry.
Let's need to interrupt in regards to, but how did we meet? Because there's something else I want you to mention. And what did we do last year?
Oh, how did we meet? Okay, so going back a couple of years, I organised various different events. It was International Women's Day, and you came down. We met then. Am I right?
Right. Yeah.
We met then, and then after that, obviously, we had lockdown last year, which was end of March. I was supposed to be going. Now, don't you start, Rudi?
I haven't even started yet.
Yes, I'm just prepping you before you do. So I was actually.
Wait, how could you preempt me? You don't. You've just met me.
You know what I'm saying. Astrid knows. You tell. So anyway, I was going to be flying out to Montserrat. Where?
Okay.
Which is.
Were you born in Montserrat? Were you born in Montserrat?
I wasn't born there, but that's where my family are from. That's where my mum and dad were born. So yeah, small island. I get all of that.
No, I weren't going to say that. There was no way I was going to say. All I was going to say is that when I need to light a cigarette, I just step out and just light up my cigarette and then go back inside. That's what I was going to say.
No. I was literally going to fly out, and literally the following day we went into lockdown. So anyway, I didn't end up going. And it's like, okay, so what am I going to do? So I, as in Simply D, is what we're going to do. Used to doing so many things in the community and supporting in various different ways. And the good old Zoom, let's start a weekly Zoom. So every Thursday since, oh my gosh, April 2020, I've been running a weekly Zoom.
Oh, wicked. Congrats. Well done.
And the Zoom is actually called,
well done.
The Zoom's called Life Not in Lockdown, Life in a
Lockdown.
Okay. Like because that's what it was. And
of all those parasites.
So so in this almighty storm, we're all in different boats, right? We're doing the best we can in our different boats. And this Zoom brought together people from Leeds, Birmingham, Kent, Leash is all part of that. And a weekly Zoom. And I think it's about 6 weeks in. You know, when you can tell something's happening and it's kind of special. You knew something special was going on, not exactly, didn't know what. One of the ladies, Veronica Ebanks, I will mention her. Veronica Ebanks said, we need to capture this. The next minute, one book. You got it there, Leash. One book was produced. Life in a Lockdown 2020, Behind Closed Doors. 22
are we talking about this book here?
Check you out.
You see, and you watch them out all over me.
I haven't finished yet, Rudi. I haven't finished. I still got more running to do. So yeah, I'm glad you've got the book. But yeah, that book. So there's 22 of us women who literally shared a chapter each of a small portion of our journey at the very beginning of lockdown, which was March to May of last year. And within 7 weeks, that book was born.
7 weeks. Well done.
And that's the art of collaboration.
Was that, I mean, how did you go about publishing the book?
Already knew publishers, approached a publisher, and the concept, the idea, because we were literally at the beginning of lockdown, we wanted it out as soon as possible. And it came out 11th of July last year, and over 600 copies. Yeah, we're not ramping. Don't ramp.
And on the back of that came a calendar and a recipe book, an ebook, and we're still growing. So that's why I say, they say that women can't work together because we bicker too much. And I just want to say that the 22 of us have proved the world wrong. So I think we should all go be in Parliament and like we will just fix everything.
I don't know about that. Aston, I don't know about that. Did you hear that? They're trying to say that women should rule the world. This is wrong, man.
You know what?
There'll be a few skirmishes once a month. I don't think it's a good idea.
No, not after a certain age. That goes. So we're all good.
Hold on, Dee's got something to say here. Simply Dee's. What?
I don't know. Is there a thing where I raise my hand? I'm not sure. Have we spoken about the male menopause? Have we spoken about that?
That's next week. That's next week.
Oh, really?
That's deferred. We're deferring.
So what we say, women, the guys are going through their thing. They have the menopause.
I thought our menopause was younger women and fast cars. That's what I thought it was.
No, you're wrong.
You know, you're going to get into trouble.
The list is long. The list is long.
Yeah, that.
You know, on a serious, on a serious note, I don't think it's something that's really been explored, Dee. In terms of the actual change that men actually do go through. I'm quite ignorant of it myself. Oops.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
yeah, you see, there's a reason why the lad Papa wrote, you know. I mean, I don't know why. The lad Papa wrote for a reason. Papa wrote, yeah. Yeah, I must confess that I am quite ignorant of the male menopause. There's an actual word for it, actually. I think Kaz once told me. There was several people who told me what the actual word is for that transition that men go through. But normally we just say that we reach 40 and we have a midlife crisis. That's what it used to be put down to.
It's much more than that. So
yeah.
It's much, and it's way before middle age. Let's be fair.
Yeah, but we don't mature until we're in our 30s. So why is it way before? How do you work that out?
Because when you say midlife, I don't know, what age do you deem as midlife? What are you saying, 50?
60. Well, they say that the average lifespan is what, 75, 60? No, I mean 75 going into 80.
Yeah,
average
80.
Lifespan.
Not in the area where my people come from. We're centurions.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So,
but I mean, from a global perspective, I was thinking more globally. You know, as opposed to the individual islands or areas. You know, that the lifespan is about what, you know, late 70s, early 80s. So then half that and we get to like 40 in terms of midlife.
All being well, because tomorrow ain't promised, right?
Yeah.
No, we're very much aware of that. Tomorrow ain't promised. That's why you got to live. I always say live life until the wheels drop off. Just go for it.
Go for it.
Just go for it.
I think you, when you're younger, you know, just thinking that I felt a bit more, not invincible, but I felt like I had time. I think that's the word that I want to use. I felt like I had time to do stuff. And then before I knew it, I was in my 40s. And I'm like, where did that time actually go? What did I do with it? So now I'm looking at it. Well, if I get to do another 45 years, for example, I've got a whole lot of stuff to do between now and 90.
Yeah.
Just even regards to like traveling, the stuff that I wanted, I just think of how much stuff I could have done before all of this jabby testing, sticking things here and there that are not necessary. I'm not prepared to put my body through any of that to leave the country. So I feel like I've missed out. Like I didn't do an 18 to 30s holiday. I haven't done a cruise yet. You know, there were just things on the list that you just thought, oh, I'll do it in time. I'll do it in time. Where's that time gone?
Morning, Susan. Susan's concerned about my health. Thank you, darling.
You know what, Susan, though? In answer to that, I'd prefer to die of lung cancer and know what's going on my death certificate than anything else right about now. So I'm going to keep it real.
That hurt.
They ain't putting no rubbish on my death certificate. Put down what I actually died from.
Yep, I agree.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's fine. I think everyone should have their own philosophy and live by that. Sorry, Aston.
If I'm going quick and concise, man. Boom. I don't want to know the number of the bus. I don't want to know.
I think there's nothing worse than being in pain and going through a slow process of watching one's loved ones, or even, watching your life eke away. I don't think there's nothing worse than that. But as Susan has said, it's a choice that's true. Which is fair enough. Morning, Lady Reed. How you doing? We are joined this morning by Simply D's. She's based in Luton. She operates out of the Arndale Plaza, where she has where she has united. Is it 20? No, it's 22 people who wrote the book. No, it's 22 people who are in the plaza, if I'm correct.
Yeah, 22 in the book.
Yeah, not in the book. They're not in the book. So it's 22
and
people.
13 in the shop, in the hub.
And
she's all space for more.
And she's also got a Zoom platform that she runs on a Thursday.
And
how do people actually get in touch with you for that?
Simply D's Events at gmail.com. I'm on social media, D Bailey, Simply D's Events, Instagram, Facebook. Get a hold of me that way, and that way then we'll have a conversation. I also have a talk show. I know it's hard to believe.
You have a what show?
A talk show.
Yeah. Wait, say that again. Simply D's. You have a
my own.
Wait. Say that again. What is it? You have a what? You have a.
You
have a what? What is it? You have.
It's like that. It's like that.
You have a talk show. Go ahead.
Yes, first Tuesday of every month. When did I start? The 1st of May, 2018. So it's 3 years now. First Tuesday of every month. That's that. Let's park it for a moment, if that's okay. So that'll be 1st of June, 7 till 10. We stream live on Facebook.
Okay.
But
and is that once again? They tune into Simply D's.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, and here is the details that if anybody wishes to get in touch, please do get in touch with Simply D's Events. She's got quite a few, and from what I'm picking up, no men allowed.
No. Look, see, this is where you're fasting yourself now, Rudi. I don't know. Have you not done any? Did you do any research on me?
No, none at all.
I can tell that because you would know I'm so passionate about the guys. As much as you think it's women, I'm fully aware that men are forgotten.
Yeah,
in my mind, are forgotten. And and very much the men are involved. The men do play a part in so many different ways. But this coming, just in case, what time do you guys finish? In a minute.
Well, we've got another 5 minutes, so we're fine.
Okay, just very, very quickly. So this coming Tuesday, launching a new lunchtime magazine show. It's called the Simply Together Show, and we will be streaming live every Tuesday, 12 till 12:30. And obviously, once you're online, it's global. We will be having guests from all over the world, and it's just like a magazine show. So if you think Saturday Soup, a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of and
is it the kind of soup? Is it the kind of soup that when you stick the fork in it, it stand up?
Of course. Of course.
Get stuck in a dumpling.
That's right.
Of course.
Meat on the back.
Definitely. So do you know what? If I could just very quickly say, and then I'm going to zip it. It's just that all that I do. Yeah. I'm so grateful for all the support that I've had from so many different people that I don't know, people that I do know, globally. And on Tuesday, we will also be doing live a raffle. Get in touch. I'll give you the details. And it's just to keep Simply D's going. So, yes, I think that may be it.
Don't tell me. She's silent. This is amazing.
There's more, but I'm conscious of the time.
No, don't worry. We're quite relaxed, actually. We're very relaxed.
It's great.
I mean, we encourage our guests to inform people what they're doing, and we're not really going to rush you to do that, even though time is, as you said, very tight, because we do believe on this platform that there are so many unsung heroes doing work in the community, and we haven't often had a chance to explore or identify who these people are. We tend to push further up our pyramid: sports stars, musicians, anybody who has some sort of TV profile. And we think that's a sad mistake, because it takes so many people to make a community. And you Simply are one of those people, because there were so many people who was going through so much during lockdown, and they didn't have a place to go, but yet for all they had these skills and they didn't know how they were going to use them or how they can, express them. So we're really pleased to have you on the platform. We really are. We genuinely are. As feisty as you are, we're happy to have you.
You know what? Leash, thanks for inviting me on. And you know what, Rudi? If anybody else said that to me, I'd be upset. Coming from you, it's a compliment.
Well, thank you very much. But trust me, my co-host is worse than me. Yeah, for some reason, he's sitting back this morning.
No. Listen. It's like
you get roasted. That's why.
It's like watching the Wimbledon final, and they just I do that. Do this.
I love it.
I love it.
Love it. But then again, you know what? I love what you're doing, right? How to be part of it, and you anticipated one of the questions I wanted to ask, right? Are the men welcome into your forum?
Oh my gosh! Yes. Ask Lescha.
Yeah, you're gonna see like 20 to 30 women that just drooling, basically. So yes, you're more than welcome.
Oh, don't be of yourself, yeah.
She was speaking for herself. She wasn't speaking for me. Just putting it out.
I'm trying to slip it in. Just keep me up.
Yeah, but it's great, and as I said, this is just a catalyst of networking, right? So welcome, and I wish you all the best in the future, man.
Thank you, honestly, thank you, and obviously thank you, Leash, so much, because Leash is the one, and whether people know or not, she is such a driver of so many things and doesn't get the credit for that. And so when you talk about unsung heroes, that is, you see that lady there, she is one of them. So I want to make sure that people acknowledge and recognise that.
Fully expose herself, Isn't
it? Trying to do underground and stealth and ninja now. Everybody knows my capabilities, darn it.
turn like a Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Wow.
But change starts by doing something. There's no good. We're all sitting back, and where all my sort of journey started very quickly, Rudi. As much as I said that was my last thing, very quickly.
No, it's okay. No, I'm saying relax. It's okay.
Only because I've got to start work. My daytime job in any moment now. But I was very much a part of one of those people that used to moan about anything and everything. And if there was a master's degree, we would all, I think, have that to an extent, because we do all the moaning, the groaning, but what are we actually doing to bring about that change?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, and it started just becoming a school governor. We all used to moan about the schools this, the schools that did, which was, there was elements of truth. Yeah, but with that, I'm too busy. I'm too busy to become a governor. I'm too busy doing what? If we're so passionate about our youth and what they're doing and playing, you know, a role in that sort of area, then we need to make the time. We need to find the time. And they see us with lip service. We say so much, but they don't see us doing it. We talk it, but we don't walk it. So that's where my journey in terms of getting involved in the community and trying to make a difference. Don't just talk it, get involved. There's so many things out there. You can't tell me there's nothing near you. There's so many things even online. If you can't get out of the house, there's so many things that you can get involved in and, you know, support others. If you're not doing something yourself, there's ways that you can support others in doing something positive. And if the young people see us doing that, they can see us making progress. If they can't see us uniting, why do we expect them? My phone's going to go. Why do we expect them to unite? So, sorry, my charger's...
That's okay.
I haven't got my charger, but I've actually got to start work now.
That's
so
okay,
I
Lee.
can't thank you all enough. Thank you, seriously. Thank you so much for having me on and letting me have a voice.
That's okay. Thanks for joining us. Big round of applause for Lee.
Thanks, Dee.
Thank you, Dee. And we will be in touch. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Yes, wow.
Well,
thanks,
that was quite a guest, wasn't it?
She
was great.
Something
She was fantastic.
On Friday morning.
She was fantastic. She was absolutely fantastic. She was a ball of energy, and I loved her closing lines before she left, because a lot of us do sit back and moan, and complain, and actually don't step out of our own comfort zone to try and make a difference.
Yeah.
So I can only applaud Simply D's for doing just that, and thanking Lescha for inviting her onto the platform.
Yeah, well done, Lescha. Well done.
Thank you. She's made a huge difference in my life. Again, being someone who's single, lives alone, you know, being able to join that platform last year and have that consistency, that for me.
I thought she said that she wasn't single. I thought she said she wasn't.
Me being single, stop looking for people. No, you're going to get into trouble, my man.
No. I have my sidekick already, man. Don't worry.
Wait, I look down. Where's she there? No, she gone. She going to work. Going to look after her husband and pick me. Yeah, she did. She picked me up at a point that I was actually quite very low in life. And again, being able to network around 20 to 30 to 40 other people consistently throughout a year is definitely giving me someone to lean on, a whole group, you know, a whole support network that I didn't even think was there. So you're never alone unless you want to be, is what I say.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, that's true. But I mean, a moment ago, I was having a pop at some of the fact that we only glorify sports stars and TV celebrities. But I think we should
just pause there a second. Remember, they go through a journey, right, to get to where they are, to actually be highlighted, and then they're picked out of an array of thousands to just say one person here, right? and it's hard work. It's hard work, man. Right? So although we say, okay, that's the one that put in front of our face, but also, you know, is to take that step back and then see who's actually around you as well, who's achieving just as much results as what we would see as celebrities or successful people as well, you know, because even the young who's hustling to say, boy, you know, I've got a suitcase of stuff here and I just want to sell. You understand? Right? That could just be like his evening meal there, but he don't want to go down that road of doing other things. You understand? So, you know, you have to give reverence to those who are trying out there. I always recall once I went to a carnival, right? And when I go down the car, I always go early. And there's a young man there, and all he's got is a suitcase full of Lucozades and soft drinks and there. And I said, what do you do? And he says, I'm just selling these, right? And of course, you know, everyone does their markup. So I said, you know what? Respect you, because, you know, if you're gonna sell them for like £1 or no, them type of thing there, you got a suitcase full of money right there. You understand? So yeah, I bought two, right? And you know, I was satisfied with that because it saved.
But I will always help somebody who's trying to help themselves.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I would always do that. I would always be supportive of that. I mean, the only thing is you do have to be competitive, but I mean, in a carnival situation, we do expect a markup of some sort. You know what I mean? That's kind of like understandable. But the point I was going to make was that there are personalities who are doing positive things, who are trying to change the narrative, so to speak. You know, I mean, here's Shaq's donating 500 pairs of shoes to elementary school students. You know, so it's not like some of them haven't forgotten where they're coming from. You know what I mean? I mean, he's the shoes that he actually produces sells in Walmart. Yeah. He hasn't actually gone high end. Like a lot of the celebrities do. They tend to go high end to get the biggest markups that they could possibly find, forgetting that if you go further down the pyramid, there's a big set of people who need to be marketed to. You know, and if those kind of products can be found, you know, maybe we might find that the money will be coming back into our community as opposed to going out. You know, you got your Dolces and Gabbanas, you got your Chanels, you've got all of these, but then what about all the people like Lescha themselves who do their own kind of like thing? Why are we not supporting them? You know, why is the money just going 180 degrees out as opposed to circulating within?
Yeah,
I mean,
I've always wondered why we've got this fascination with certain surnames which don't belong to us. My fascination is with my surname, with my legacy, if that makes sense. I fell victim of wanting designer clothes or wanting to wear certain labels at a certain time in my life. But then I think my perspective changed when I walked into a charity shop and I saw an Armani jacket that you'd probably pay £200-300 for in the West End, for example, and it was £10 in the charity shop.
Yeah, man.
That just summed it up for me, to be quite honest with you. That was never again. You know, just a never again policy am I ever spending that much money on. I think the only thing I'd ever invest in this day and age really is a Rolex, purely because it increases with value.
In value, yeah.
And if you ain't talking that sort of money or that sort of art or that sort of classic vehicle, then right now, the most expensive thing that I own is an Averex jacket, and the only reason why I'm keeping it is because I know that brand. You know what I mean? Like I know, like I've got Burberry, for example. I've got certain classic labels that will they're just there. People don't even remember them, but you dust them off and you draw them out, and people want to rob you for them because they're like, because they don't get that quality stuff anymore. You really don't get it.
Nothing is made to last anymore. Nothing is made to last. You know, I mean, only the other day I replaced my washing machine. You know, because it wasn't built to last. And when I looked at some of the parts, they were all plastic parts.
Yeah.
Things that could deteriorate, you know, from the vibration and stuff like that. It gets weaker. There's no way it is going to last. Whereas back in the day, I remember when the big thing was about owning a Volvo, because that could last forever.
It's like a tank.
Yes.
Everything's disposable. I think I really became aware of just how disposable things became when Primark came about. And I remember walking into Primark. I bought a suit for £50, and I thought, yeah, I'll wear that tonight. Yeah. Then after I wore it, I remember I bent down. All I heard was, yeah.
Yes.
And ordinarily, back in the day, I would have taken that to the tailor. It went straight in the bin.
No.
Yeah. No, I do get your thinking there. I do get it.
Yeah.
It's just
whereas I remember the first suit that my mum bought me, right? I think I was 13 years old. We was going over to South America at the time. Handmade tailor stuff.
Yeah.
Handmade tailor. Everything was tailored.
We did have a slightly cheaper brand back then, didn't we? We had Mark 1 for a little while, for those of you who remember. But my mum and dad wouldn't let me go to those shops and buy clothes. Like, my grandma worked in M&S in Marks and Spencer's, and so therefore actually got quite a decent discount on, you know, through working there. But the majority of my clothes were from like British Home Stores, C&A. Like, C&A was bottom run of the ladder for us back in the day. That was as bad as it got. But you know, I grew up with lining in my skirts and in my trousers and stuff, and things that were just made. It's just that I look at the way things are made now, and I'm fed up of seeing people wearing these transparent leggings, because they're not leggings, ladies. Those are tights.
Exactly. Yeah.
See everything and everything underneath exposed.
Camel told a lot.
Advertising and pushing buggy too, because I will have to say it's not my baby mother. No. But
it's like yesterday I went out to teach my class, and there was two girls there, and I'm walking behind them, and like you said, one of them didn't have leggings on because I could see everything. Even though it was black, I could still see everything she had on underneath.
Yeah. I just don't get it. It's something I don't get. Like, my mum would do a check before I leave the house certain times, make sure certain things is put where they're supposed to be, and not everyone's got access to it. But then as you get older, like, just ethics and morals and standards kind of kick in. And I don't get where you go through the mirror and you can clearly see what's happening, and you still go through the front door thinking that that's okay. But then if you're called a name that suits what you're wearing, now you're upset because that's not who you are. Well, then why are you advertising certain things, darling? Put it away.
Less is more. That's what I've always been taught. Less is more. You don't have to put everything on display.
Yeah.
If it's hidden and it's covered up and everything like that, then guess what? There's more to the imagination.
Yeah. This is kind of weird. I'll leave it on a funny note if I can. But one of my my Muslim friends, so I was speaking to him about women who wear, you know, the full burqa and cover up and that, and he says it makes no difference because every day is Christmas because we're just wondering what's underneath.
I like that.
Yeah, I
thought it is true. It is true. Less is more.
But that's the thing though. I don't know what's happening. I think ladies have a lot to answer for in terms of the way men perceive them to be because of the way in which they are. I've got to be careful what I say here, man. I know I've got to be careful.
I'll say it for you, for the way they're dressed.
Yeah.
And what they do and how they behave.
I was going to say it's more of a behavior rather than just dress, because I can dress a certain way just like them, but my behavior while I'm out in that attire then determines
it's very different. Yes.
Yeah. So it's how you carry yourself, really. Do you know? You know, in that sense, and that's one thing that I've realized. I tested that theory as a girl, is that you can wear certain things around certain people, be in certain environments, and not get accosted.
Yeah,
that's not what you're asking for. That's not what you're putting out.
Exactly.
But I mean, That's what because on one level, I kind of respect the way that the Muslims conduct themselves and why they conduct themselves like that, because one, it was the heat. That's why they were dressed, you know what I mean, in terms of where they're coming from. But the other thing was to prevent that sort of attention, if that makes any sense.
I'd prefer attention rather than curiosity, because curiosity to me has an element of risk. Attention has risk, but I can see it, I can feel it, I know what it is, I know how to deflect that, or I know how to deal with it. When someone's curious, you don't always pick that up. And I think that's where a little bit of danger can come in, because some men are just like, I'm so curious about that particular woman. They will do everything in their power to get to that person. Whereas attention is kind of upfront in your face. You can deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Well, we have done the hour, as you know.
Indeed.
As you know, and we've done our weekly roundup. Our guest, Miss D. Bailey, was fantastic.
When get more
and I hope that people will take the time out to contact her. Simply D's events at gmail.com.
Yeah.
There's a possibility, if you're living in the Luton area, close to the Arndale Centre, that if you've got a business idea, you can take that to her, where you can display your wares, I believe. Would you like to tell us about?
I was going to say, even if you're not close, you can send your products in. Just on obviously agree that, and you can send a box of your stuff down. And we do have volunteers that actually help sell your stuff for you as well. So we do need volunteers, which would be nice. But if you're not local and you want to then promote somewhere else outside of London, further south, depending if you're up north, that sort of thing, then yeah, we will happily welcome your stuff into the shop. You don't have to be in Luton. I'm not in Luton and my stuff's in there. So it's good promoting space, good advertising space, good workshop space.
Okay. Excellent. And could you tell us more about the Zoom?
So the Zoom's Life in a Lockdown every Thursday, 7 p.m. until 8:30. There is an event link on Facebook. It's free to register. You then get emailed the link each week to connect, and we discuss real stuff, real talk. Some of us may not be feeling great, others are doing great stuff. We have special guests on there. It's just like a variety of people, but we get to know each other and then we support each other in the background, follow each other's pages, jump on each other's platforms, collaborate, and just keep building with whoever wants to be involved. So we'd love to have you all come and join us. Let us know what you all do, see what we all do. And it's not just for women, please. I personally would like to see more men. Thank you.
Aston's free.
No. So I like my eyes. I like my eyes. I'm sure there's someone in the
Sorry
room
about that, Aston.
waiting to scratch out my eye. Them left in my lord.
Exactly. Oh no, I ain't. No. I'm well and truly covered, man. Don't worry about that.
I hear you. I hear you. It's just to remind everybody of your when you're streaming, Aston.
Me?
Yes. Sir.
Oh boy. Let me see. The live show is on Thursdays from midday now. It's from midday to 3 p.m. on galaxyofawee.com. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So make sure that you look into to Aston. That would be great. If we're going swimming, I'm not sure where we should head off to, Aston.
You mean Astrid?
Astrid, sorry.
You mean Coach Astrid, yeah? Okay.
Coach Astrid, exactly.
Well, I've gone back to teaching my exercise classes. So on Wednesday, I'm local if you're local to me. I'm at Cannons in Mitcham from 2 till 3. On Thursday, I'm in Morden and I do fitness rebounder. So if you know about rebounding and what that does for your lymphatic system, then come join me there. And that's at 12:15. And then on Friday, I'm at West Norwood at 12:15 again, doing the swimming thing, doing the water workout class. So feel free to come and join me.
Yes, go out there and join in with Coach Astrid. I must say.
Yes.
I got to get back into the gym myself. I want to get some guns like Like Mister over there, I need some guns. I need some guns.
It look like spaghetti compared to what he's doing.
Do you know what? All I'm working on is my core at the moment. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So especially this rebounder, it's about using the core to actually do the exercises. So it's like, yay.
I started hula hooping.
Ooh, that's good too.
I've got 3 and they're all different weights and different sizes. So the big one is the lightest one, but you've got to make it move more.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
I thought you needed hips for that.
What are you trying to say? I got batty. I got a bumper. What do you mean?
Okay. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's the weekly roundup rounded up, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Please join me tomorrow morning with DJ Countryman for 15 minutes with DJ Countryman and myself. We will be joined by Sylvia Teller will be with us, as well as Paula. She runs a daycare center for the elderly, and it'll be very interesting to see and hear what she has to say. Her dad is a member of the British Empire. He actually got an award for doing just that. So please do tune in with us at 10 past. That's 10:15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning. It'll be great to see you. And thank you very much for joining us this morning. We really enjoyed your company. Yeah. Stay safe, people. Stay safe.
Take care. Much love.
It's Friday morning. It's not crunchy time. It's Friday morning Rants and Bants with Rudi Lickwood and the crew. Aston Matapha Jones,
Julie Juice, Coach Astrid, and Lescha Marshall-Witter.
Early morning conversation with a special guest each week.
Join us.
Bring your tea, your coffee, and let us feel.
15 a.m. to 9:15 a.m.
Friday mornings.
See you there.
Live with me,